So part 3 on the childbirth and that corona crown coming on and the people being pushed out of Lady Liberty's poo'see and that boo-see and stuff for that Halloween and the Christmas rapture, crapture and all those things. Hopefully it won't have to go in the box and give them that old Pandora's box. That's a little stinky. Okay? The hands for Jans, those are being passed out for the old Texas Hold'em. And as some of us have gone into the old fundamentalism or that old bright light, they're still in the church and left behind in the carnal church and whatever else, right? Whatever's going on. They're out there seeking salvation in this light or that light or whatever light that's about to go dark. Okay? Right now with the 7 rainbows and such going on, Sodom, the Sodom, and the Gomorrah, the Sodom, and the Sod, and then that Elon being laid out in the grass that the cows are going to come eat, and that's the cud for the duck backwards, for the Donald Duck, or the deafening in the ear, the old ring ring you get after that bang bang. All right, we already saw one big bang. Now we're going to see another big bang and another big bang. We're going to get the Irish birth on, or Irish twins on different levels, and the Irish coffee is being served up, a little whisk key, and we got that Taylor Swift coming in that's showing us a little key for that seeming of the time and that fabric of space. The times as a hairstylist, I've gone in and seen some things at the Village in the Rose Room in these clubs in the tunnel underneath Area 51. And the tunnel is where you see all these people laying down there on the floor just enjoying themselves, but they kind of like, you're walking into some like weird upped up party, kind of like on the House of Usher where the people were given the acid rain, the ACID rain. That's the AC Antichrist and the ID. And that's the church coming in. Well, that's the Antichrist there. They're going to make us sign up for this app. The ape. The monkeypox. And the ape. We're going into the caveman. That den where the rocks can fall at us. Alright, so... So as the rainbow's shining bright, the lesbian midwife or the gay midwife or whatever is going to be coming on, or the Indian midwife, or whatever midwives y'all got. There are going to be all kinds of midwives. For the 7 lights, the 7 heads, the 10 horns of the old, the 10 horns to come that have not been given the kingdom yet, but they're given that hour, and that's tied to Elon with his T-Mobile and Starliner and all these things going up. It's the Starlink and stuff. And the queens are being dealt out for the card game, and the queens on the card game connects to the queens on the chess table, and the queens on the chess table connects to that Q or UN, and then UN is connected to UN or U out, and then the UN connects us to the United Nations, and that united is tied to that thief in the night, or as a thief in the night in one way. And then it's also the UN, that united is connected to the cannabis, because according to the UN law or whatever, we can't technically have medical cannabis or recreational cannabis in any of these nations that are doing cannabis per se. So this is where we can see a new heaven and earth lining up in different areas of the earth, and then we see the United Nations coming as that thief in the night saying, oh, you can't do this, that, and the other with cannabis. And then we see a divide through that, through the tree of life, through the heaven and all those other things, for that healing, that heal, that leash, and that woman has that reigns. Okay, so that healing of nations, that healing of nations, that hell, that health, all those things are tied into an old heaven and earth, a new heaven and earth, and they intertwine and interweave and such. Okay, and that guinea pig, the guinea is that so-called Jew per se, and then that pig is that by IG. And the IG is like, I'm the G-man, the Jesus. I got all the 7 lights. I got all my 7 chakras shining bright. They're all tickling and talking and stuff like that, okay? Because I didn't get the old X app in the old skin or the ribbon nucleic acid for the temple to go down and the earthquake to happen and the temple to shatter. Alright, because the WWF is coming in and there are 4 turnbuckles around on that ring. And we are going to turn that buck kill on different levels. Some are going to have that understanding and some are going to have that standard, and they're not going to know how to aim the bow for that white horse rider and those arrows, and those rows go for those boats and those dinghies for that flood and the currency and that currency for that wren that's still on that nest, and that phoenix is coming and it has a nest and the dragon is there and that wren's coming. Okay, the wren is the W, the 23W. Where am I gonna go? I have 2 kidneys, a urethra that's being shown for Christmas time frame, and the pine needles, well, they're sticking me in the arms all over. The pie needle. And the del's the D, the L, the drunks, the rum, that Trumpa is serving for that Jamaica, for the jelly that is going to be served, okay? So this is where we can see him doing this after the election for the September 18th, the 18th. Well, he's 8. Okay, the 5, 6, 7, 8 for the NFL's opening seasoners for that Last Supper, and the 18 served on that second day of the Corinth of the Corinth arena. All right, the arena. All right, and then he's going to be cast probably into the lower parts of the earth for the gel time, and that Pardon is coming for that live golf game for that Golf N1. Okay. So I understand that a lot of people may not understand the real Slim Shady's raps, but some of us have been given a new song. All right. So if you like these songs, just pass on the beats that you hear so you can eat for the old Last Supper, because the image has been given life and it has seared the people with that Olympics, the Olympics, all right, that's coming, because they're going to be told some stuff about their ball worship that they got going on, that the C men for that C section is not going to be ticking so much. So that lower chakra on the old tadpoles is getting a little hot, and the frogs don't jump out of the old hot water because they cook within it. All right, so ribbit, and the ribbit is tied to the ribbon nucleic acid and the Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin, well, you've all been biting on this thing that's connected to the Dow. The Dow. Do ow. Do ow. Bad omen. All right. The down, it's all right there in front of you. It's what Jesus said. All right. Jesus all within us. It's all right there in front of us, guys. Got to wake up to it. Got to realize you're in the waters of the brain Washington waters. As you're in the brain Washington waters, that water is getting dark and dirty and stinky and bubbly and all kinds of things. And as they pour it out and change it out and whatever, okay, that's when you get pouring the soap in. All the pores are being poured in, and that flood's coming for that new water, the old water, right? That's when you get the global switch. You're going to dump it out. It's when the light goes dark, and then the new one starts up. The bubbles are all over, dude. Have you ever filled up the 5-gallon bucket, the 225 bucket? Because that's being filled up now. And you got the soap being poured in, about to splash with water, get all these bubbles. Bubbles just flow everywhere. Sometimes out of the bucket. All right, but everybody's in that old dirty bucket. And that's when they get pushed out onto the grass. They get flooded out onto the grass. And the grass is the Elon laid out for them to collect them up. For them to go into the ground. Do you understand? And the ground is part of the cops, the copper. The copper. The purr. Oh. I'm a beast man. And the purring. For the magazine. Alright? For the open arms of God. For the chess players of the Lord of Lords coming. And the Lamb shall be slain. Because he's coming back as a lion. You don't want to be the lamb. That's the sheep. Meh. It's the beast. That's confusion. That's the delusion. The screaming and that ice cream you scream, Biden eats the ice cream. It's the screaming for the birth. Have you ever dealt with a woman giving birth? Gripping the hands, the jans, screaming and bloody murder. There's nothing you can do, nothing you can do. All you can do is have the midwives there feeling, checking. You have her moving here, moving there, whatever. Sometimes she may grip the wall and have it there, just right there on the wall. Or sometimes she'll have to get on all fours and have the lesbian catching it there, or maybe dad will catch it there, or whatever. It just depends on the circumstances. Dad catches it, mom catches it, midwife catches it. All these things are going to be happening in overlays, all in different times. Different times, same time. Different times, same time as they're stacked. And this is when people are... There's 7 horns inside. There's 7 heads, 7 lights, 7 chakras, the 7 days. All these things are just sparking inside of them. They're like, bam, 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 bam. This lights out, this lights out, this lights out. When that lights out, this light lights up, this light lights up, this light lights up. I'm in hell. I need to rise. I am the dead that rises first and goes to war and sheds the blood of the bleeding. I am a sheep. I am a sheep. And the wolf has come. The wolf has come. We're running around. The hay is burned. The sticks are burned. Where's the bricks? Where's the house on the bricks? Ding, ding, ding. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Wolf's coming. Wolf's coming. Let me into the brick house. Let me into the brick house. Our house of paper, our sticks and such is burned up. Our owner is coming after us. Washington's coming after us to slaughter us. Trump is coming after us to slaughter us. The Trump crash or the Kamala crash. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? You're going to go doo-doo for the old crapture. You're going to hand them the Pandora's box full of your shit. Because your brain, you're in that upside down phase, the backside up. Your brain couldn't go past that inhale, exhale, and rise up to the anus, the sun backwards. Because you're just spitting a bunch of shit out. A bunch of shit that's going to be pressed into compost and put into that lawn, that Elon and such. Okay? So, Enjoy the garden.